is not based upon a particular question, although I think it could help some of the questions that I get with people who struggle with aggression, not being able to turn things down, or people that can't stop spazzing out, as brand new white belts like I was. But it can also be used for other things like how to modulate your training. So for instance, with me sometimes, I want to go into the gym, and as I get older, I realize that I can't go super, super hard all the time. And so sometimes I'll go into the gym and I'll have this great idea, I'm going to go a little slower today. And then I'll end up rolling with one of the guys, and all of a sudden I realize by the end of the round, we've ramped up and we're going full speed, both of us. And so this is a little breathing technique that you can put into place to address some of those things. And I think it would be an interesting sort of exercise for you, regardless as a jiu-jitsu practitioner and really regardless of your level. So check it out. Back in 2018, I started getting into breathing. I guess I've always been into breathing, right? I've been breathing my whole life, but I actually started reading up on this subject. So I got a book recommendation from a friend, started reading it, started reading other ones. There's since been a ton of other books that have been written on it. But the idea that you see through all of these is that we should be breathing through our nose, right? Nasal breathing. It's very popular now. But I thought it was really interesting. And breathing is also a really interesting thing when you think about it. You can change the physiological, sort of state that your body's in by changing the way that you breathe. You can breathe really fast and you can sort of ramp your nervous system up, or you can really slow your breathing down, and especially the exhale, slowing the exhale down, and you can sort of bring your physiological state down a little bit and sort of get the nervous system to calm down. And so where I'm getting with this is you can use your breathing as a way of almost putting a gear system into your body. So think of a car, right? If I go first gear, I'm only going to go so fast. I go into second gear, only going to go so fast. Third gear, you get the idea. And so what you can do with this when you're training, let's say that either you want to slow yourself down, if you want to be mindful of how much cardio you're expending, or if you even want to sort of just make yourself have a slower training session, start by only breathing through your nose. And I would try to, if I could give you a recommendation, if you're watching this, try to begin all of your training sessions, especially the rolling and the drilling, with that. Start with only nasal breathing. Start with that first. So no mouth breathing, no opening. What'll end up happening is that as you try to speed the whole roll up or the drilling session up, as you try to speed things up, you're going to notice that you're going to sort of hit a wall where you're either going to have to stop moving so fast, or you're going to have to then breathe out through your mouth. And that's kind of like second gear. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It's allowing you to offload a little bit more CO2. And then eventually, if you're going full speed, you're eventually going to go to straight mouth breathing. Now, I've noticed some interesting things as I've been practicing this for the last few years. One of the best ones is if I can roll with someone and I can continuously nasal breathe, and they're full on mouth breathing and hard, I know that it's only a matter of time before they putter out, because I haven't even gone into second gear yet, and they're already in third, and they're not beating me yet. But it's also been really interesting where if I want to come in and have a slow session, I will make sure that I only breathe through my nose. Now, there will be problems with this because, if I'm rolling with one of the guys that's super tough in the gym, they're going to eventually get the better of me because I might not be able to move as fast as I need to be. And this tells me, one, that my technique needs to get better, but also it gives me a chance to work on my defense and staying calm in those situations rather than having to revert to trying to muscle through things. And so for any of you guys watching this video, whether you are trying to slow your sessions down, whether you're trying to maybe not be so aggressive or not be so wild on the mat, start your sessions off breathing through your nose. Now, if you're not used to breathing through your nose, it will take some practice. As you do it more and more, you'll probably notice it gets easier and easier. But start your drills off with just nasal breathing, and then notice that eventually it starts to go into the fact that then you have to breathe through your mouth and so forth. That's been an interesting exercise for me, and I've also seen some value to it. I've shared it with my students, some of them who are white belts, or some of the guys that need to slow down a little bit. But I've also noticed that even in competitions where I'm nasal breathing and the dudes are huffing and puffing, and I know that oh man, this is really good. I'm already ahead of this person cardio-wise, and the match has just begun. So just an idea with you guys to share with you a little breathing technique, and that's it. So I'll talk to you guys next time.